Hey everyone, this is the Atari 8-bit Game Hunter. This is going to be my pickup video for everything I got from AtariBrian over the last 2 weeks. I got so much stuff from him that actually came in the mail today that I'm not going to wait till Sunday. I'm just going to do a dedicated video right to his stuff. AtariBrian's been hooking me up lately with a lot of good Atari 2600 items, 5200 items, and this is miscellaneous stuff along the way. He's on AtariAge.com if you want to check out his items for sale in the marketplace. I'll throw a link at the bottom with at least one of his for sale item threads. You guys can check him out. Double thumbs up for his approval to buy and sell to him. Great guy, easy to work with. Just big ups to AtariBrian. He goes out of his way to make my life a little bit easier, especially in finding the items I'm looking for. And with that said, I'm just going to dive right into the games. I got games, I got manuals, I got a TI-99 system to show you guys, and let's get right into it. I got 4 stacks here. Let's knock out the games, then we'll hit the manuals, and we'll hit up on the system at the end. First game up, Star Voyager by Magic. Boxing, this is going to be a label upgrade for me, condition-wise. Battle Zone. Got the text version now of Dodge 'em. Real Sports Boxing. Red label. This ended up being a duplicate for me. I picked up another one of these Millipede 1987 copyright cards at the NAVA convention this past weekend. I think I paid like 50 cents or $1 for that one, so I got one from AtariBrian, and one of them will go up for sale. I'll throw it up on AtariAge.com and see if I can trade that off for something else. Blue label version of Activision. Blue label version of Ice Hockey. Oink! Skydiver, picture label 1978. And a game of Concentration, CX2642. Red text label. So that's the first group. Moving into the second stack. And when I'm telling you I have stacks of games, I mean, they're pretty stacked up. I think I got 55 games in all. Taz. This is the 1988 Atari Corp version of it. Up until AtariBrian told me he had this one, I didn't even know the later versions existed for that game. Junior Pac-Man. Jungle Hunt. The 1988 Atari Corps variation. The label upgrade for me is Spider Fighter. My old one will go up for sale on Atari Age, or get thrown into the NAVA bin and bring it to NAVA next month. By CBS, Mountain King. Kaboom. Towering Inferno by US Games. Bridge. Not the best label variation condition wise, but it's not a bad start to my collection. Ghostbusters. Picture label. Title Match Pro Wrestling. Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes. Nexar, and Moonsweeper. I remember when I used to collect this the first time around, I would get Spectravision games, and think they were the rarest things on the planet. Almost impossible to find, but the longer you collect, you realize some of the stuff you thought was extremely impossible to find turns out not to be as hard. Or at least if you know where to go, it's not as difficult to find. And that's what I like about collecting the second time around. Next up, Casino, the 1986 variation. The label did fall off of it, but put it over here on the side, I'll re-glue it, and it'll be as good as new. That did not happen in shipment, by the way. That was my stupidity. It happens. Pole Position, with the smaller re-release variation at the bottom. Ghostbusters, the blue Activision label. Real Sports Football, 87. Enduro. Now this is a really good game for the 2600. Quite challenging, a little bit of ahead of its time for the thought and programming behind it. Kind of a little bit like a variation on pole position, actually, where you're just passing cars and you're just trying to get through to the next stage, and you have all different weather conditions. I'll show you the manual later on because I did get the manual for that game. Next up, Space Invaders by Sears Telegames. Picture variation. Private Eye. Now this is a game I did not have the first time around when I was collecting. And now that I have this version of the game now, it's going to be fun to actually sit down and play it. I think I also got the manual for this one too, so I'm not going to be completely in the dark on how to play it. Dragonfire, picture label. Blue label, Demon Attack. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. Excellent condition. And probably the worst looking one in the whole group today, Warlock. Missing part of the end label. It's a good starter card to upgrade from. I have Outlaw and Dolphin. And the final group of cartridges, Turmoil, Frogger, Frostbite. This one is Galaxian, Karate by Fargo Games, Go Off. Let's see, we got Venture, the re-release onto the Atari 2600 label, originally released on Coleco. Tennis, which is really real sports tennis. That was a re-release also. A lot of these games are re-releases, at least the titles I've shown you before. If you're seeing them again, it's just a label variation with the later copyright year on them. Defender, picture label. Super Football. Brain Games. This is the red text label to my blue one. E.T., which you saw in the earlier video of E.T., but if you look closely, this is the 1982 version. The version I originally showed you on my gaming moment back in time was an 86. And the last game, Alpha Beam with Ernie. So, in short, those are the games. And now I get to go over the manuals. It's like writing a book on this stuff, I tell you. Starting with Surround. Make some room over here. Donkey Kong Jr. for the 2600. The first group is 26 and it goes 52, 78, ColecoVision. So you're not confused. Ice Hockey. Space War. Tron Deadly Discs. Pele's Championship Soccer. Decathlon, which I did not see in this manual telling you you're going to break your control if you play this game a lot. You must have had something in with Atari to get a percentage of the controller replacement funds. Defender 2, which was earlier called Stargate before they had changed the name. Dreadnoughts. This was an Activision title. Came out for the 5200 and the Atari 8-bit. I have the 8-bit version of the game, but not the manual on the 5200 version of the game, so just kind of sits there and just a little bit out of my collection, not knowing what to do with it. Frogger. Star Wars. I love the graphic art for this manual. Solaris. Cosmic Arc. Going to end up being a duplicate of Sequest for my collection. Hubert. Battle Zone. Moon Patrol. Spider-Man. Once again, another one of those cool labels. Designs things on the cover art. Popeye. And I'll tell you right now, for every cool one you see, you'll see one that looks like they half-assed it. I personally don't like it. Riddle of the Sphinx. Grand Prix. Nexar. Outlaw. Atlantis. Admir. Let's see. Yar's Revenge. Duplicate version of River Raid. That'll be going up for sale. Version E. Version E of the Atari catalog, 49 games. And version letter D, the 45 game catalog. Let's see what else we got going on here. Desert Falcon. Dolphin. Cosmic Ark. This is the later re-released black and white copy of the manual. Infiltrate by Apollo. Enduro. And what I was telling you earlier about Enduro was you have, let me see if they have a picture of it, and they don't. In this game you have daytime, nighttime, snow, all different weather conditions also, so it makes it a little bit more tricky, and fog. You have to have in a racing game you have to have a game where you don't know where the hell you're going. It's kind of like common law. Star Master. Oink. This is my duplicate of that, so I will be putting that one up for trade. Or I'll put the other one I got from Neighbor up for trade, one of the two. This is also why at my Neighbor convention you did not see much Atari stuff in my pickup video. It was mostly it's Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, Game Gear, whatever. I just had so much going on this deal, and what I'm doing with Atari 181, I really didn't want to go buying more Atari stuff and finding out I have it already. You can already tell I already had 2 or 3 items that are duplicates as it is. Didn't want to go wasting my money on that when I could pick up other things I know I needed for my collection. Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes. Awesome graphics. Astro Blast. Frogs and Flies. 1986 version of Video Checkers manual in black and white. It's interesting they actually reused the whole old school 1978 style manuals. Dodge 'em. Bowling by Sears. Blackjack. And this is the 1977, so this would have been a pack-in version of with the gatefold boxes. Defender by Sears. And now we move into the 5200 items. The 5200 system, the system manual. Another one, the different version of it. Why they changed them, I don't know, but I was assuming in the beginning it was going to be one with a 2-port and the other one was a 4-port because they did change them over, but that wasn't the case. I have no idea the reasoning behind the first and second version of the manual for the graphics. Choplifter. Real Sports Baseball. Mrs. Pac-Man. Let's see what we got here. Qbert. Making another appearance. Another duplicate Real Sports Baseball, which I'll put on the side. Super Breakout. Yeah, go figure. Another owner's manual. This is 3 different versions of the manual they printed. The first 2 was 1982. This is in 1983. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more research. I know one of the earlier manuals was dated 782. So that was July of 82, right around the launch date, I believe. Not 100% positive. Later on down the road, I'm going to do a review of the 5200. I'm going to do my research, and I'll have my facts straight when I do that system review. Real Sports Football. A little bit of advertising for the 5200. We have Berserk, Pac-Man, Centipede, the owner's manual for the trackball controller. I don't own it yet, but having the manual is a good start. Dig Dug. Got a ton of manuals here to work through. I got Frogger, Moon Patrol, Jungle Hunt, Real Sports Soccer. And for the Real Sports Football, I don't have the gaming manual, but I do have the playbook. The blue one and the red team. I got Kicks. I loved it on the 8-bit. I'm hoping to find the cartridge cheap on Digital Press, Naver, online, Atari Age, someplace. Pick that up and get cracking on that. Supposed to be a good version of the game too. Got Galaxian, Kangaroo, Star Raiders. And Star Raiders is not a complicated game by no means, but damn, that manual is thick. Probably weighs more than any other manual I have in my collection. Joust, Pole Position, and Defender. So that will take care of my 2600 and 5200 manuals. And now I'm going to move. My TI-99 stuff is attacking me. And I can't wait to get to that section of the collection of what I picked up, because now that it fell and I actually got to see some of it, it looks like a lot of good stuff. Just hope I didn't break anything along the way in the process. Now for my 7800 manuals, I picked up Crossbow, Donkey Kong Jr., Galaga, or Galaga as I usually pronounce it, Dark Chambers, Ace of Aces, which was very good on the Atari 8-bit. I'm hoping to find that one on 7800 one day. And the joke I was making when I was going through this was, I got manuals to shit I don't even own yet. Actually a pretty good feeling, because now you know when you get the game and everything, you're going to be that much closer to a complete version of it. I wish these were all boxes, but yeah, you work with what you can get. One-on-one basketball. Very good on the Atari 8-bit, much better than the original basketball they released on the 8-bit back in 78, 79. Hat Trick. Ball Blazer. Very good on the A8 system. Cracked, which I heard was a good game. I never played it, even back in the day, so I look forward to coming across that in my travels down the road. Let's see, and that'll be it for this Atari 7800 games. I thought I had a few more. Everything from here on out is for the ColecoVision. Once again, Qbert. I got Qberts coming out my ass. To count them? I can't even pronounce it. I'm not even going to try. I've been up since 5 this morning. I'm not going to try to pronounce everything. Defender from the Atari Soft line. And for the ColecoVision, we got Donkey Kong Jr., Space Panic, Carnival, Zaxxon, Mr. Do, Looping, which I got the video game at the flea market at the Meadowlands, I think 2 weeks ago. I paid $2 for it, or $1. Mousetrap. Let's see what we're gonna have. Sabrak. Super Action Football. Rock and Rope. Donkey Kong. Let's see, Venture. Space Fury. Super Action Baseball. Here you go. Turbo. which it looks like it could be a pretty good game if I come across it in my travels. And Gateway to Sphere, which I'm looking for the manual and the game for the Atari 8-bit computer line. Haven't come across it yet. Hoping I will come across it in the next couple of months. Would be nice to add a few more to my collection before the year's out. Let's see. Now, AtariBrian sold this to me, telling me it was practically brand new. The fact that it had the foam and the plastic wrap. Let's see, can I get that all in the shot? If you can't see, this is probably the cleanest TI-99 you will ever see. I mean, there is not a problem with the system look-wise. Very clean. Actually, I'm looking at it from this angle here. It looks like it uses the same plug-in as the Atari XEGS system would use for the power supply. But very clean looking system. When AtariBrian tells you you have a clean system, or he has a clean system available, just assume it's the cleanest system you'll ever see and can eat off of it. Now this is the part of my video that's going to probably go the slowest, so if you want to pause it, get something to drink, go for it. This is all the manuals and stuff that came with the TI-99. I'm not going to go through every single page of it because I know a lot of this is supposed to be in a binder, and the binder is long gone. But we'll go through what we have. Looks like a manual for the video modulator. I guess that's like the adapter for the TV. Let's see. The owner's information card. The basic reference for the TI-99 using BASIC. And this thing is like brand new. I love stuff from the 80s that's like brand new. The beginner's guide to BASIC for the TI-99. It smells brand new. It smells like the 80s. Now, if we only had some other stuff from the 80s that was still this clean and usable. I have no idea where to put all this stuff. Let's see. We have the user's reference guide, which if you look at the back, it's the quick reference. And actually, that's what most of this stuff is now I'm looking at it. The majority of these 3-hole punch pages would go for a binder, so I'm going to have to grab myself a small binder and just sort this all out, page number it out, and store it away and do a presentation down the road, I guess. You wouldn't have a system without some advertising. This is the TI-99 Computer Advanced Club. Let's see. I love it when they say for credit card registration. Those are the areas that they served. New York City, Washington, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, New Jersey. And the ideas of them, with all the cities listed, New Jersey must be a city. Appreciate it. And let's see here. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this one to you. It's called TextNet Information Service. I assume from this reason, yeah. I was gonna say I thought this would have been like their version of the internet back in the early 80s. But you got news, you got software exchange for, I guess, the non-profit free software, voice chat, the dictionary, help, software, user groups, service center, graphics library, music and sound library, logo exchange, submit. And like all advertising, please send me information and an application. This is back in the day when internet would cost you $15 per minute, or I think it used to be like $15 a minute, $11 a minute, $5 a minute. Then in the late 80s, early 90s, it started becoming somewhat more affordable with Prodigy and American Online doing, what was it, 10 cents a minute off peak hours, 25 cents peak hours per minute, and that ended up being like 7 p.m. to 12 or 1 in the morning, plus weekends. And then back in 95, AOL came out with unlimited $20 a month. A little bit of information there for you guys. Let me think. Manuals, TI-99, video games. One other thing, hold on one sec. Honestly, it's two things. One is a spare keyboard controller. This one seems to be a little bit cleaner than the two I have, so I'll swap one of those out for this one. We'll add that to the collection bin. And finally, the Y cable for the 5200. I have the 5200 plug-in. One port, let me see, get up here. One port for the 5200. And one port for a 2600 joystick to play. That way, if your controller has gone totally to crap, like most 5200 controllers are, you plug this into the system, you're plugging a crappy controller that won't steer left, right, or sideways. You'll still be able to use the keypad, the number pad, 1 through 9, pound, and star. And you would have a 2600 controller that would work to go left, down, sideways, and the power shooting button, which is pretty cool. That ran me $25, but if anybody who has a 5200 that craps out on you, at least now you'll have something to play with. You'll still also need the 5200 controller for your start, pause, and option select button. So that's about it for this week. Like I said, this was such a big lot, and AtariBrian has gone out of his way to help me that I just dedicated a whole video just to his pickups for the past 2 weeks. Big ups to you, AtariBrian, much appreciated. When I do my other deal with Atari 181, I'm going to be doing the same thing because it's just a lot of stuff coming from him too. Actually, I think it's double what I got here. It's insane. I got prototypes coming, I got rarities coming in, I got variations coming in. I got more things than I can swing a stick at. I mean, I have a binder that I keep up on all my games, and I highlight them off the list so I know I have them. I'm going to be sniffing highlighters for the next week. I should go out and buy the ones that have different scents and everything, like lemon and mint and raspberry or whatever, because that's what I'm going to be doing the rest of the night, and I can guarantee you that now. But till tomorrow, when I do my Gaming Moment Back in Time video, this is the Atari 8-Bit Game Hunter signing out.